The WNBA season is about to start, so let's look through some recent moves, development roster signing, waves, trades, and that good GM survey. Now, we gotta start off with the Valkyries because Marta Suarez has signed a development contract with the Phoenix Mercury, which just adds to the lore of this ever-developing story between her and Flau'jae Johnson. Not them directly, but whatever the Golden State Valkyries and the Seattle Storm had going on behind the scenes, who knows if we'll ever really know. But that basically means the Golden State Valkyries lottery pick ended up being nothing in this draft. None of their picks really ended up being anything in this draft. Now, the speculation, of course, is that this all went down so the Valkyries could get Gabby Williams, but who really knows? Fair exchange ain't no robbery. It looks like everybody's happy. The Valkyries have Gabby Williams, the Seattle Storm got Flau'jae Johnson, and Suarez is signed in Phoenix. Now, these development contracts do work a little bit differently. While teams don't have to have them, they can have up to 2 players that are signed to the team but not active to the rosters, and they have to go through the whole process to get them in an active slot. But for Suarez's size and skill set, I think this move would have a pretty good upside for the Mercury. She's a solid player that could turn into something over the next couple of years, especially as you get ready to wind down out of the Alyssa Thomas, DeWanna Bonner years. And ultimately, Flau'jae looks like she fits in Seattle, so I can't really be mad there. That would still make the overall move weird for the Valkyries, but they're still keeping their pieces together. As much as they didn't keep Soa, they would sign her to a development contract. That's obviously a great position to be in, seeing as she went crazy in preseason. You really are just trying to make the roster, and she at least made enough of an impression for the Valkyries to keep her in there somewhere. Now, other developmental contracts that were signed, the LA Sparks signed Laura Ziegler. The Indiana Fever did keep Justine Passat, along with Tyana Mir being signed to a development contract in Seattle. And Mariela Fasula got a development contract with the Toronto Tempo. So we're seeing this do something ultimately over the past couple of years. These players would have just been waived and had to hope another team saw some type of value in them. They would be out there alongside Madison Hayes and Taylor Bigby, who got waived by the Sun. Megan McConnell, Jessica Timmons, and Kiana Traylor were waived from the Fever. Sevgi Uzun and Julie Van Loo were waived by the Sparks. Madison Scott was waived by the Mystics. So we knew a lot of cuts were coming down. Again, while these teams don't have to use these development spots, hopefully they do. But with that, you know the rosters are starting to solidify. We got the first couple of trades for the season. The Lynx traded for Maya Caldwell, and the Portland Fire get a 2028 third round pick. The Mercury traded for Chloe Bibby, so she's also joining that team. And the Fire get rights to Julia Irold. Personally, I'm not familiar, but I like the move for the Mercury. They're slowly building a team with kind of the leftovers left in the league, which is smart considering there's always someone floating around that's not signed that can add value to the team. I mean, look how much Odyssey Sims jumped around. We also got a few cuts from the Lynx. I'm very surprised they cut Jalen Sherrard, but she's been cut, and obviously we're bound to see more. Now, the only reason it's hard to really say what these starting rosters will be or where the teams really landed, there are just a lot of injuries. I mean, just starting with Sabrina Ionescu, she's expected to miss a couple of weeks due to her ankle. And while she's not injured, Rebecca Allen will miss their season opener, just getting back play ready. Dorka Juhas is out as well for a couple of weeks for the beginning of the season. She's nursing her foot. You got Kate Martin. She's having quad trouble. She's going to be out, listed as day-to-day. And then you got Jordan Horston, who's also listed for limited minutes just because of her knee. So there's still some bumps and bruises everyone's playing through. Even looking at the Chicago Sky, you're still waiting to see how and when they start Dejanay Carrington and Azurá Stevens. So some of these teams we really won't see at full strength until probably the middle of the season. And then it's very likely other teams start having issues. So it'll be an interesting season. I know all leagues have injuries, but that's one of the good things with this CBA. Hopefully it allows these players to actually rest in the off season so that they're able to come back healthy and ready to go. While we didn't lose any players to Unrivaled, we definitely lost some to overseas play. There's still some wear and tear that in the future they really won't have to participate in unless they want to. Alright, and then let's just look through this GM survey and see what fun things they left us to talk about. Who will win Rookie of the Year? Olivia Miles, AZ Fudd, and Flau'jae. Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing about this is Olivia Miles is coming in pretty much as a starting point guard. So not only will she get that run time, she's going to have the ball in her hands. AZ, even with her run time, is going to be an off-ball shooter. And then Flau'jae is going to do great with her minutes, but I think she's just going to share those guard positions until it's more ironed out how they want that backcourt to look. Which player acquisition will make the biggest impact? Angel Reese, Gabby Williams, Nneka Ogwumike, and Satu Sabally. And then they have Marina Mabrey and Skylar Diggins grabbing votes there. I mean, those were the blockbuster moves of the offseason. We saw a lot of movement because of the CBA. I think they might have Nneka a little high. I mean, if they're going to list Toronto, you might as well have Mabrey up there. And then Skylar Diggins, their whole team changed, but I think Skylar Diggins at its core changes who the Chicago Sky are. But I'm not mad at the first two. I definitely think Angel Reese and Gabby Williams are 1 and 2, even with that tied percentage. Not mad at that at all. Which rookie was the biggest steal at where she was selected in the draft? Yes, Nell Angloma, Tanaya Latson, Flau'jae Johnson. Absolutely. I'm not sure how Olivia Miles and Awa Pham are even at the end of this list, but okay. I do like to have Cody on this list as well. Gabriela Hawkes. I don't know about that one, but the top three, absolutely. Absolutely. No argument there. Which player is the best passer? Chelsea Gray and Caitlin Clark. Not mad at it. Not mad at it. Obviously, Caitlin Clark's three-point shooting is the spectacular part of it, but yes, excellent passer. Her vision is up there. And then Chelsea Gray is just the definition, the literal blueprint. I mean, she's gonna go down as the guard that had eyes in the back of her head legitimately. I mean, just everywhere. She's pulling off crazy moves in practice. So yes, Chelsea Gray at 93% sounds very accurate. Which team will be most improved in 2026? Dallas, Chicago, LA. Dallas, Atlanta, LA? I don't know about the Sparks. And honestly, with Chicago, I mean, I guess making it to the playoffs would be considered exceptionally better, but I don't know about most, and just based off of this list alone, you got Atlanta and Golden State right in the front. So I would have to say Dallas, Atlanta, Golden State. And that's just because thinking through some of the teams, I don't think they really moved too much up or down from where they were last year. So that one's not bad. Which rookie will be the best player in 5 years? Awa Pham and Olivia Miles. In 5 years, I would say this is a good projection. Flau'jae Johnson is obviously up there. Oh wow, and no one else got votes. I'm surprised AZ Fudd and Flau'jae didn't get any votes. Based on what we've seen from Olivia Miles in preseason, I absolutely love her being there. I'm not sure why Awa Pham is so high when we haven't seen her play here yet. I mean, hopefully she's headed this way, but it's definitely been some years when you just don't see these international players at all. Which is the best defensive player in the WNBA? Asia Wilson, Gabby Williams, Alyssa Thomas. Now, these are your bigs, so I'll give them that. And then they gave some votes to Dejanay Carrington and Elena Smith. Actually, I can't be too mad at it. Yeah, I think outside of Natasha Cloud, the bigs pretty much have it. So I think the best part of this, though, is that it's all something different. Asia has that presence and she's going to block you, but Gabby grabs more steals out of the group, and then Alyssa Thomas is just going to bully her way. It's just going to bully her will into the game. So can't be mad at it. Again, even Dejanay Carrington being in fourth, she's the main one that had me locking in on a great defensive player and watching the game and looking out for that. All right, and then who is the most versatile player in the W? Breanna Stewart, Gabby Williams, and Alyssa Thomas. And then they also have Napheesa Collier, Alicia Gray, and Satu Sabally. Yeah, I like that. I'm not sure why A'ja Wilson didn't make the list. I don't know, even as a big, she has a pretty decent handle. I mean, she's not necessarily leading the break, but she can hold her own, just considering how good she is at everything else. But okay, I think Breanna Stewart has that all around, I can do everything type of game to her anyway. And then Satu Sabally's nickname is literally the unicorn. So yeah, she definitely should make this list. Versatile is kind of interesting because you kind of just land on a really great wing player or just some excellently skilled 3s and 4s in there. So, you know, you land on a Nneka Ogwumike, again, an A'ja Wilson. I mean, someone like Kayla McBride comes to mind, but can't be too mad at it. It's not heavy snubs. They're definitely landing around the top, the cream of the crop in most of these questions. I mean, obviously they can't ask the heavy hitters whose tank ranking or who's the least fun to watch, but it's fun buzz before the season starts. Which team will win the WNBA, will win everything? Which team will win the championship? Vegas, New York, and Atlanta. Yeah, that pretty much lines up with most power rankings right now. Who will win MVP? Ooh, 60% on Asia Wilson, Breanna Stewart, Caitlin Clark, and Alicia Gray. We like Alicia Gray that high on the list. But yeah, Asia Wilson, reigning MVP. I mean, she seems ready for another one too. Breanna Stewart did play in Unrivaled and a couple of weeks in EuroLeague, so we'll see how fresh she is for the season. If you were starting a franchise today and could side any player in the W, who would it be? Ooh, Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers, Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, Dominique Malonga, Breanna Stewart, Nafisa Collier. Paige Beckers, Asia Wilson. I like the Dominique Malonga pick. Caitlin Clark just puts butts in seats, so you can't be mad at this top four. Out of anybody in the league, yeah, I mean, obviously I'd add Angel Reese in there, but you can't be mad at this list at all. Which player is most likely to have a breakout season? That's a lot of people. Dominique Malonga, Rakia Jackson, Julie Allman, Cameron Brink, Paige Beckers, Kennedy Burke, Veronica Burton, Ryan Howard, Marina Mabry, Lila Lakin, and Jackie Young. I think Paige Beckers is going to have a breakout season. Even just watching her in preseason, she looks so comfortable. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if she got a most improved this season. And that's just looking at the preseason. So I feel the same way with Marina Mabry after that season in Unrivaled and being on a team where she's just going to be able to let loose. I mean, it's going to be almost based around her entirely. So I think she's got a good shot at it. Rakia Jackson being on a new team and just being able to fly, like they just want to win. So they'll let her do her thing. Veronica Burton won most improved last year. So having a breakout season is at this point, making it on the list of MVP votes, but, not winning it. So I do think she'll have a good season though. I think Cameron Brink will have a good season. I don't know about a great season. Same with Julie Allman, being on a new team will help, but I don't know about breakout. And even for Malonga, depending on how the Storm play her, I mean, that's going to be up to the team at this point. Which team made the best overall moves this offseason? Dallas for sure, and Atlanta. Yes. Then they have Chicago, Las Vegas, and New York listed. Overall offseason, I have to give it to Dallas and Chicago. Chicago rebuilt overnight. Now, granted, they might not be contenders, but it's a team, especially after adding Natasha Cloud. I mean, you really can't be mad at the overall offseason. I mean, Vegas making this list is kind of odd. They basically just kept their team together. I would say it's more of a case for New York, who kept their core together, but added someone like Asatu Sabali. So kind of keeping the same five, but Dallas, Chicago, New York, Atlanta, and then Vegas. Which head coach makes the best in-game adjustments? Those are just the best coaches. Cheryl Reeve, Becky Hammond, Natalie Nakase, and Nate Tibbetts. You can possibly swap out Nate. I mean, I'd leave Nakase in there. In-game, I'm interested to see what Dallas does and the Fever do, just with their abundance of riches, so to speak. This is just based on coaching styles, though, so that's not too much, a reflection on the team. Which new or relocated head coach will make the biggest impact on their team? Sandy Brondello, Jose Fernandez, Sonia Raman, Chris DeMarco. I don't like those last three at all. Sandy Brondello. Yeah, definitely got to give the biggest chunk there to Sandy Brondello, so there's no problem there. Jose Fernandez, okay, just because it's the Dallas Wings, and it's going to be imperative to see what he does with that group. Yeah, I would just give that last 14 to the Storm. They've got a new group, so their coach, it's just going to be important to watch what they do as well. And because the question is biggest impact, I don't think DeMarco can necessarily have a better impact than Brondello. She gave them a championship, so yeah. Which team will be the most fun to watch? Yes, Dallas, Atlanta, Indiana, and Golden State. Now, Dallas, absolutely. Atlanta, 100%. I'm actually surprised that the Tempo look fun to watch, the Mystics look fun to watch, and obviously we'll be watching Golden State. I do think this is skewed a little bit, obviously because of the national television schedule, but I like to watch fun teams. You can find me watching fun teams more often than not, considering who my favorite teams are. So I would actually bump the Tempo up if we're just splitting percentages, and the Mystics, and they can split that with the Indiana Fever. Who is the best center in the WNBA? Asia Wilson, Jonquel Jones, Aaliyah Boston, and Brianna Jones. Asia Wilson and Aaliyah Boston, yes. They don't have any extra names. I'll give you Jonquel Jones, Aaliyah Boston, Brianna Jones. Now, the only other center that does come to mind is like Brittany Griner. So I guess 7% isn't bad, and they could have just almost listed every other starting center. So I guess I'll I can't be too nitpicky on this one, but yeah, definitely Asia Wilson and Aaliyah Boston. Who is the best coach? Cheryl Reeve, Becky Hammond, Natalie Nakase. Yeah, no arguments there. Which team has the most promising young core? Ooh, Dallas, Seattle, Washington, and Indiana. Dallas, Seattle, Washington, and Indiana. I think I would just switch the order. So Dallas, Indiana, Washington, Seattle. Which player would you want taking a shot with the game on the line? Chelsea Gray, Asia Wilson, and Jackie Young. Yeah, Chelsea Gray. They did list Paige Beckers and Arike Gumbawale. Absolutely perfect top 5, but Chelsea Gray. Chelsea in the clutch Gray. Absolutely. Yes. I think it ends up being a good preview for the season and really just seeing where not just the GMs, but really where the league is. But it is still just way too early predictions. So let's get to the season already.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, players.